There's such a big disconnect between business education and stock market education. Have you ever thought about it? So that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mariusz Konieczny. I run Microcap Explosions, a private membership website dedicated to microcap stocks which are ignored and underfollowed by the investment industry. I also wrote about 10 books on investing, one of which was available for a free download at microcapexplosions.com. And also I created valueinvestinguniversity.com as a free resource to make you a more intelligent investor. 20 years ago, if you wanted to learn something, how to fix a car or how to do something around your house, there was not much information out there. You'd had to maybe go to like a trade school, have someone teach you something, or maybe buy a book. I remember when I first came to the US, we were remodeling a home that we bought, and that was like late 1990s, and we were buying things from Home Depot, drywall, paint, you name it, to remodel the home. And I always wondered, how did my parents know how to do that stuff? And at that time, there were these books that you could have bought at Home Depot and turn to a certain page and you could see how to do certain things. You see, now times have changed, because now almost for anything that you want to learn, you just go to YouTube. And I've done it so many times with my car. I learned how to fix my car. The car that I had before, Honda Civic, I learned how to change the timing belt. I learned how to change brakes. Saved me a lot of money just going to YouTube and learning how to do things. And you can do this with so many different things. So when it comes to stocks and business education, there's so many different resources that are available to you. If you want to start a business, if you want to start a restaurant, there's something out there. If you want to start a distribution company, there's something out there. If you want to start a YouTube channel, there's so many channels that will tell you how to do it, how to grow, how to be successful, and all of that. There's so much information on being successful or how to run a business, okay? And then when you think about the stock market education, there's such a big disconnect between business education and stock market education. Because what is a stock market? A stock market is a place where you can buy ownership interest in businesses. So wouldn't it make sense for the stock market investors to actually turn into those channels and study businesses, what makes them successful? If you're interested in a restaurant stock, go and watch some videos on how to make your restaurant successful. Go and watch some interviews with people that run restaurants, right? Get that education from them. But no, that's not what most people do when it comes to stock market investing. Instead of learning about businesses, and the education is out there everywhere, what do? They learn about the behavior of other business owners. Business owners, not business owners that are true business owners on the private side, business owners in the stock market. So instead of learning the business itself, they learn the behavior of the traders. They turn into technical analysis, and then they look at the velocity, this and head and shoulders patterns, all kinds of patterns that all these patterns tell you is a behavior. They're trying to predict a behavior of other stock market investors. That they have nothing to do with whether the business is good, whether the business is bad, whether the business is going to grow, whether the business has a good sales team, whether the business can succeed, whether the business has great margins. No interest in that. They are just interested in a short-term behavior of other people. And it's such a shame, such a big disconnect. And when you talk to people just in general, they might have some kind of knowledge in a particular area. Maybe they are good in biology. Maybe they understand real estate, or maybe they understand auto dealership or whatever. And then when you talk to them about stocks, they have zero clue. Like, they don't take that knowledge and learn how they can use this knowledge in a different field. And when I was in Mexico for Santa Tomas, it was an interesting conversation, because when you talk to the geos, they know everything about, the rocks and this and that. And I asked this question. I said, how much do those geos know about the financial markets? And the answer was, if it's from 0 to 10, it's closer to 0. And, that's just another example of, like, they don't understand how they can, and I'm just talking like in general. Of course, there is some geos out there that understand both sides of the things, but especially the younger ones that might go to school, get a geology degree, and then they love to close themselves in a room. They look at the rocks, look at the geology and this and that, and they don't understand how the other side, the capital markets operate. So it's just an example. And I actually find this kind of thing an advantage that is not so much exploited, because business people that understand business, they are out there running businesses. They are not out there buying stocks. And then people that buy stocks, they don't understand anything about business. And you would think that the people that run the businesses, they could take that knowledge and make a killing by owning stocks. And sometimes that's the case. And I would say that the most successful, especially microcap and small cap investors, tend to be business people, tend to be business owners. But just because you're a business owner doesn't automatically make you a great microcap or small cap investor. It gives you a good foundation, but you have to learn how to think differently. Because when they run businesses, they understand what patience is. They understand that things take longer than normal. They understand that it takes time to get clients. They understand that. But then at the same time, when they're running businesses, they are busy all the time. They are busy all the time and they hustle. And then when they transition themselves to the ownership of stocks, all of a sudden, many of them don't understand patience. Many of them don't seem to realize that it takes time to get clients and takes time to get contracts. And they don't realize that they don't run this business. So they don't need to hustle themselves. They don't need to be busy all the time, because somebody else is doing the busy work. They are just taking a passive interest in a particular company, and they have to learn a different skill, a skill that requires them to sit on their butt and do nothing. And that's a completely different skill set than what it takes to run a business. When you run a business, you don't sit on your butt and do nothing. If you do, you're going to fail in the business. You have to be active. You have to constantly be doing this. And a lot of times people that run businesses, they're hyperactive, and that benefits them, that brings them success. When they transition on the other side, if they can develop that skill, because they have the knowledge. If they can take the knowledge and say, I understand that it takes patience. I understand it takes time to get clients. I understand it takes time to build new products. It takes time to grow the business. If they can get that understanding and combine it with, but you know what? I'm a passive investor and I'm just going to sit on my butt and let these things develop. And I'm not going to worry about charts, technical analysis. I'm not going to worry about what other people tell me, because I know, because I have the business experience. If they can do that, they can be very successful. And I've seen some people being able to do this, but unfortunately, I haven't seen too many that are able to make that transition. So anyway, that's it for this video. I thought you would find this interesting, how there's this discrepancy between business education and stock market education, and how if you successfully can combine the two, you can very much be very successful in investing in small and micro cap companies. So thanks for watching.